good afternoon to everyone for this wonderful gathering for the program of Arunai Ideathon 2.0. And in afternoon session, we have some more teams to take over their idea pitching and make their innovative ideas to be pitchforged on this particular platform. So I just make the coordinators as well as the team members to get ready for the session.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. A warm welcome to Ideathon 2.0. Today I am going to present our project idea about smart socket automation with my classmates Jnana Soundarya, Hemalata and Sandhya. And my team mentor is Mrs. Karthika, Assistant Professor of Computer Science and Department. My team name is Mind Optimizes. We are working under the domain of IoT. IoT connect the devices over the internet. We can access IoT devices from anywhere and anytime to exchange data. The Internet of Things describes the network of physical things that are embedded with sensors, softwares, and other things that are embedded with technologies for the purpose of connecting and exchanging data with other devices and systems over the internet. Over the past few years, IoT has become one of the most important technologies of the 21st century. Now that we can connect everyday internet via embedded devices, seamless communication is possible between people, processes, and things. So you have decided to join the 21st century by converting your home into smart home. But with all the smart home gadgets and devices available, where do you start? Now, how can you make smart home dreams come true on your budget? The answer is simple: smart sockets. What is smart socket? A smart socket is a small adapter that can be plugged into a regular electrical wall outlet. It can be connected to a Wi-Fi network. Once connected, the smart plug can be controlled remotely through an application installed on a smartphone. Any devices or appliances that is plugged into the smart plug adapter can be turned on or off by using a smartphone. Smart plugs make it easy to automate and control smart appliances in your home. And because they are low cost, they are affordable option for you to begin turning your smart home. Followed by me, Hemalata will take over the session.
These are the problems we are facing in day-to-day life. We forgot to switch off the socket by accidentally. Lots of victims, aged persons, or touches the plug, it leads to electric shock. Electrocution attacks cause both a 300 deaths and 4,000 injuries each year among the US workforce. A person can get an electric shock through contact with an electric current from a small household appliance, wall outlet, or extension cord. These shocks rarely cause severe trauma or complications. Electrocution is the sixth among causes of workspace deaths. When we keep the switch on, energy loss will be 0.1 to zero point 0.5 watts. It may be small, but considering in an annum, it will be more energy loss. By solving this, we propose some ideas. A smart plug is a power plug which can be fitted between power cords and sockets to function as a remote control power switch. As such, smart plugs can be used to make dumb electrical equipment smart and thereby enable such devices for home automation or building automation purposes. Smart plugs can, for example, be controlled via a mobile application, a smart home hub, or a virtual assistant. Examples of protocols used for communication with smart plugs include Wi-Fi. Many smart plugs have a built-in ammeter so that electrical energy consumption of the connected equipment can be monitored. Smart plugs often have a slim profile so as to hinder access to neighboring sockets in a wall outlet or power strip. Smart sockets might be the perfect compromise. It lets homeowners turn any device into smart device. It is an easy to use introduction to the world of automation because they can function independently. Smart plugs connect to an app on your smartphone via Wi-Fi, allowing you to control whatever appliances is connected to that plug, often without the need for a separate motor. Smart plug can be only used for remotely switching on or off and the energy monitoring of the appliances. Followed by me, Sandhya will continue.
Now I'm going to explain the algorithm. First, we will start the process. Secondly, install the latest version of Arduino IDE to our PC, which includes all the required libraries. Next step is to initiate variable and constant in Arduino IDE. After initializing this, load the program with the ESP01 using Arduino UNO. To provide all this information by creating a reference link app. Using the link app, set up tool and Wi-Fi name, password and Arduino IDE. With the help of solid code, connect all the components and insert it into the socket. The main goal of this smart socket is we can turn on or off our socket anytime while the switch is on. After getting the result, stop the process. Our project requirements are ESP8266 ESP01, AC to DC converter, relay module, Arduino UNO, breadboard, jumper wires, connecting wires, AC plug and AC socket. These are the hardware components and the software components of Arduino IDE and ClickUp. Here the Arduino UNO is used to upload the programming code into the ESP01 node by using Arduino IDE. Node MCU is the Wi-Fi module. We connect the Arduino and ESP01 to the breadboard through its jumper wires. AC to DC converter is used to convert the current voltage. Relay module is act as a switch, is used to switches on or off, and then we create an account with us to communicate with the smart circuit. We can on or off the socket by using Utpal mobile, followed by Jnana Soundarya with control.
Here the Arduino UNO is used to input the programming code into the ESP01 node MCU. This is the flowchart of our project. Thus, first we will start and then connect the devices. Include the required libraries and initiate the variables and constant in Arduino IDE. Then set up a pins in Link app. Then set the Wi-Fi name and password in Arduino IDE, which is given by a blink app. Initiate the blink app if the connected device of the socket is on, which we switch it on or off. Then the advantages of the smart circuit. When you are out of an vacation, you can program the smart plug to turn your lights on and off during a regular cycle. It can help the detector bulb from targeting your home. It will seem like someone is present in the house. It is a cheap and effective way to add the automation to your home. This is one of the reasons the smart plug is so revolutionary. Using of smart plug, it does not causes the damage to your home appliances. One of the main advantages of the smart plug is the amount of the energy that we can save, and evidently with it the money that we can save with the irrational use of energy. Smart circuit are the low cost and it's easy to implement by an individual person at his home. It improves your smart home connectivity and it reduces the electricity bill. Then the future enhancement of the smart plug. In future, in addition to this, we can monitor how much energy it can consume and also monitor the energy loss. Smart plugs are not user friendly. The unloading process is not seamless. The no voice user can find it challenging to understand the interactive of a mesh network. The process need to be simplified. In the near future, the home will be equipped with such IoT devices which will make your daily lives work faster, smoother, and more accurate. After a power outage, the smart plug often have a problem retaining the last state. So the power outage can cause a carefully calibrated system to lose all configuration. Future small plugs need better state detection technology. In future, we can control it by the voice assistant. Let us see the demo video of our project.
Using Jumper OS, we are connecting Arduino UNO to ESP01 to load the program. And this is the Arduino IDE page. This page will include all the libraries which we need, and then we install Click app in the library. By using this program, we connect data to ESP01 with the help of Wi-Fi and password, and also set up a Click app in mobile phone because we can control it by anytime and anywhere. In the Click app, we can control our software. With the help of solid code, we connect relay mode, AC to DC converter, and the resistors. By using the electric wires and inserting into the small socket which we made. This is the normal household socket. When we forget to off the switch, there is a lots of energy loss. To solve the problem, we can replace a small socket into the normal household socket. Let's say the working of small socket. We connected this small socket to our mobile phone through Blink app. If we on the button in Blink app, the plug connected to the smart socket will work. By this, we can control the smart socket easily without the loss of energy. And if we off the button in Blink app, the socket will not work.
Thanks for giving this opportunity for us.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have some questions. First
Yes.
question is, you shown that uh, p- you, provided a record based on US actually, United States. That
Yes,
means
sir.
death rate, etc.
Yes, sir.
But have you survey the record of Indian situation, death rate based on shock? If you think that your target customer is from USA, then it's okay. But if you think that your project, you are building a project based on target customer in from India, then you have to collect some records from India, right?
Yes, sir. Sir, India is the sixth among electrocution deaths, sir.
Sorry.
Yes, sir. India is the sixth among electrocution death happening, sir.
Okay. Then next, if you implement Arduino board in each socket, then the cost of the sockets will be increased, right? Do you think any alternative idea or how to reduce cost?
Sir, actually, this is the alternative way for reducing costs, sir, comparing to others.
Okay, normally each socket is very less priced, and if
Yes,
you want to embed Arduino board in each socket, then some extra cost will be added, and it will become 3 to 4 times costly than normal socket, right? This is a problem. Next,
Okay, sir, we will work on it.
If you connect Arduino board in each socket, then some extra space will be needed in board. How do you think?
Sir, actually, we used Arduino only for load the program in ESP01, sir.
Okay,
We
okay,
don't connect it at any socket, sir. We used it only for load the program.
okay. And in demo video, you have shown that a mobile is connected to the socket or
Yes, sir.
to the board, and you just on and off it
Yes,
using
sir.
mobile.
Yes,
But
sir, using link cable.
it is connected through where? Uh, Now we have you leveraged the communication from where to Bluetooth, or actually from where to wireless?
As a Wi-Fi module, Node MCU, sir.
Okay, okay, fine, fine, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. Welcome to Ideathon 2.0. I am Shivapriya from third year in Department of CSE, and I introduce my team members are Shamira, Yogeshwari, Yamini, and my team mentor is Mrs. B. Umadevi, Assistant Professor in Department of CSE. We are presenting the idea about adaptive street lighting, which comes under the domain of IoT. Domain IoT, Internet of Things. As IoT reduces the human effort, then it definitely reduces our time. Some of the main features of IoT are connectivity, analyzing, and integration. Applications of IoT are protection, security, and quality control. Problem statement. The problem statement are in big cities uses large amount of electricity for maintaining street lights during night time when there is not necessary. Sometimes that light does not work properly. Our project mainly focuses on method of saving the electricity by making the street lights to switch automatically when object arrives near, followed by Yogeshwari.
Now we see about our idea. A smart street light is a public lighting fixture that incorporates technology such as sensor, light sensing, and photo cells to introduce the real-time monitoring. It helps to recording the systematic activities. They can be equipped with and speakers to alert from the dangerous situation and other activities. By using the IR sensor, it helps to detect movement and of object like a vehicle humans. LED consumes a low power and work efficiently. Requirements. Next, our slide is seeing about requirements. Requirements consists of our projects are hardware requirements. IR sensor which can be used to detect motion by measuring the fluctuations in temperature. LED lights. LDR is representing the light detection resistor which are used to sense the absence and presence of light is necessary, also used in the photosensitive relay. Arduino UNO. Breadboard, jumper wires, software requirements. Software requirements is a Arduino IDE. Software is used for writing code and compiling the code to check in any errors and order uploading the codes on the Arduino. Followed by Shamira.
Now we will see about algorithm. First we will collect all required components, then we will start connection. Take the breadboard to connect LED, IR sensor, LDR resistor. Next we will to connect jumper wires to breadboard. Then we connecting USB cable with laptop. After all connection are over, to run the code which is already coded in Arduino IDE software. Then it will display the result. Next slide, we will see flowchart. A flowchart is simple a graphical representation of steps. In this flowchart explains when daytime LEDs are off while the object arrives near the sensor present in the street light. If it is the night time, the object comes near the sensor, the lights are turned on automatically with bright effect. This is that the flowchart explains whether how the object arrives near the sensor produces brightness and also communicate to the next sensor in the street light. Advantages. The main advantages are huge reduction of energy and maintenance cost, increased public safety during night time, promoting the reduction of human efforts by using LED lights provides long life. Automatic switching of street light helps to the greater degree of privacy. Now followed by Yamini.
Now we will see future enhancement. The future scope of
Mm, Now we will see future enhancement. The future scope of our project are it is tremendous as there are so many wonderful features added in the streetlights. The automatic streetlight system is loud, eco-friendly and help in reducing the carbon footprint. It helps cities make well-informed decisions and improve the city usability for residents. Demo during the daytime that if our brightness is greater than 100, if I keep some object near the IR sensor, we can see LED is not going to be turned on. Similarly, at another end also LED is to be not turned on. Now do the darkness for the LDR. So going to cover the LDR with box, we can see that our sensor output is going to dark below the threshold level. Keep the object near the higher sensor, then LED to be turned on. If the object moves, LED becomes turned off. Let's check another end and place the object near the IR sensor. The LED is to be turned on. Now we place object both IR sensors simultaneously. LED is turned on. This is our adaptive street lighting system project. Thank you. Thank you for giving this wonderful opportunity. A special thanks for our expert, Dr. Jyotish Kumar in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Thank
Team technical creators. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Actually, you used Arduino Uno, and
Yes, sir.
if you install this in street, because if your project is adaptive street lighting, then you have to install it in street. Then what will be the precautionary measure to install Arduino, or you think you use another type of microcontroller which may be much more sustainable than Arduino? Do you think about this? Can you show some light on this?
Sir, we can use LED lights.
No. Actually, my question is, you are using Arduino microcontroller, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, the Arduino microcontroller is not sustainable in open environment like street light. Actually, rain occur, okay, high temperature in occurred several times. Then the Arduino microcontroller can be damaged in any time. What will be the precautionary measure? Have you any precautions, or have you planned about any precautions to maintain your microcontroller?
Sir, we are working in this. We
Okay.
can develop more on this project, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are the team hackers from third year CSE. Our team members are N. Surya, N. Satyamurthy, E. Vetrichelvan, and myself S. Vadivel. Our team mentor, Mr. G. Nandakumar, Assistant Professional CSE. Our title is Online Parking Registration System. Our domain is Artificial Intelligence. Now, team Surya will explain the problem statement.
In nowadays, wherever the public places like theaters, hospitals, theme parks we go, the first and foremost problem we face is to search a park area for our vehicle. It is a time-consuming rush process with some security issues. To overcome all the issues, we are proposing effective system called online parking registration system. Our idea. In our project online parking registration system, we will overcome the issues we faces in the previous system. In this, in this, the user will pre-register his or her parking slots by online itself. Hence, the time will reduce and the system works fully automatically with the help of IP cameras and AI software. Hence, no manpower will be needed. At the type of parking, the complete information of the vehicle will be sent to the user, so the minor security will be also solved. Components. The components of requirements needed for our project are IP cameras for image processing, DVR digital video recorder, boom barriers, Raspberry Pi for controlling the unit, Wi-Fi module, supporting frame, mounts and joints, capacitors and transistors has hardware requirements. Algorithm. The step-by-step process for our project are: Step 1, log into our website. Step 2, enter your number plate number. Step 3, select your parking lot. Step 4, pay by credit card or by UPI ID. Step 5, stop your car in front of the camera. Step 6, camera will scan your number plate and search in the database. If it is matched, the barrier will open, otherwise display number mismatched. Flowchart. The action flow starts when the user enters into the parking website. Then decision making decides whether the user is a new user or existing user. If he or she was a new user, she or she needs to sign up, otherwise existing user needs to log in. After that, the user enters his or her vehicle register number plate. After that, they need to select the place and the slot the user need to park. The system will check the slots if they are empty or not. If it is empty, the user need to check for different slots. If it is empty, then proceed to next step. There was a confirmation message sent to the user for payment. If the user confirms payment and displays success message, otherwise display your order is cancelled. The future enhancement slide will be explained by our teammate Vitri.
Website will be converted into applications. Error and fault will be from initial flash. Security will be more enhanced using motion sensor, separate slots and separate cameras for each vehicle. My teammate Murthy will explain next.
Advantages: it will reduce the time. It helps to avoid large time. Manpower is reduced, security is increases. It can be applied with small theme park to small theaters, hospitals. This system is as well used CCTV security purpose at the same time.
Demo video. There has two phases. Phase 1, registration. You have to log in or sign up in our website. Select the location and area you want to park. Enter your car number plate and register your slot. Pay by either credit card or UPI ID. Phase 2, parking. There are two IP cameras in and out at the entrances. The outside facing camera will scan the number plates of the vehicles which are incoming to make sure the registered vehicles are only allowed to park. Inside facing camera will scan the vehicle number which are exit from parking area. Then it will assume there are free space available to park and update the information to the database. For example, the registered user stops in front of the slot which she booked. The camera scans and searches the database. After it matches home barriers will open. If the number is mismatched, LCD display will display your number is mismatched. Thank you. Any queries?
Yes, yes. Actually, team hackers, you told that your project is based on AI based project, right?
Yes, sir.
But you used two components. Maybe there is some AI parts, but actually you mainly worked on web part, right? Web based part. Actually, registration form, it will register, etc. So, how do you impress customers that this is AI based project rather than this is web based project, or maybe it is very good web based project. There are huge requirements in domain of web technology. Then why you are claiming this as an AI based project? Maybe it can be presented as very good web based project. What do you think?
So, yes, sir. The the camera which is processing the image, which uses AI. So that's why we are
But
included as a AI.
already such kind of libraries are there. You just integrated those libraries and just process. Actually, you didn't build algorithm or you didn't develop the algorithm. I think in case of image processing, you just use the tool, right?
Yes, sir.
So you are working on mainly web based project, and you did all the framework based on web. You
Okay, sir.
didn't work on AI based. Then why are you claiming this as an AI based project?
Yes, sir. It's a AI with IoT, sir.
No, actually, it didn't develop any AI based algorithm. This is mainly web based project. What do you think? What will be your defending answer?
Only AI.
But the
Okay,
project is
sir.
good
Thank you, sir.
project. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon to one and all who are gathered here. Our project is Smart Bus Ticket System using QR code. We are from third year CSE and our team members are Mayalagan, Kaviyarasu, Pawan Shankar and myself Abhinesh. Our team mentor Mr. R. Suresh, Assistant Professor of Computer Science and Engineering. Domain. Our project is based on Internet of Things that describes the physical object with sensor software and other technologies that connect and exchange data with other devices and system over the internet or other communication network as well as between the devices themselves without requiring human or human to computer interaction, and problem statement will be handled by Miguel.
In India, public transport plays a major role in every individual life. Buses are widely used public transport by Indian citizens to reach their destination. There are number of problems in Indian bus system, such as no exact change in case of conductor do not give the proper change to the passenger. The amount of the paper required to generate bus ticket is far too high, as almost the passenger take the ticket and just throw away once they reach the destination. Sometimes the passenger might lose the paper ticket, which the result bring ticket once again by paying full fare. Our idea of the project to change the current ticketing system bus into a digitalized and efficient system through a web application to better journey for the passenger. The idea of the project to help citizens of India to go cashless. The main objective of the project developing a web application so the passenger can book the tickets online directly from their smartphones and receive message to their own phones is enough for traveling a desired distance. Over to Pawan Shankar.
Algorithm. First we need to open our website, then log in and sign up with our credentials. Choose the best bus for your comfort. Then make the payment by any payment method. After payment, the QR code is generated. Finally, the QR code is verified by the driver. Here is the flow chart.
Future enhancement. To save the customer suits, schedules to provide the best user experience. To automation enables you to reduce customer service costs gradually as you just need to set up auto reply emails. The existence analyze every aspects of your online bus reservation system from service level performance. Reducing paper waste by eliminating physical paper tickets and replacing it with QR code. By using this project, so we can eliminate the cash issues like change. Over to Mayalagan.
Demo. This is our web application login and sign up page. If you have an already account, you can log in it, but you doesn't have an account, use sign in page to create an account. In this case, I have an account, so I enter email ID and password. After that, it will goes into our main web page. Here we can see the top right corner profile. You can view your profile and then select from location and then select destination location and then select date and search it, and you can view buses and which time do you prefer. You can book it. Enter a card details for payment. And then you can view your tickets. After that, using scanner to verify your ticket. Thank you.
Very good project, Team MetaWare.
Thank you, sir.
Hello. Which language you have used?
For creating HTML and CSS web development.
Okay, and
Sir?
HTML and CSS and in the part of queries or in the part of programming, making decisions, making
JavaScript.
and JavaScript. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon to all. Welcome to Arunai Ideathon 2.0. Our team name is Can Creators. Our team mentor is Mrs. Shagitya Priyadarshini, Assistant Professor in the field of Computer Science Engineering. Our team trainer is Mr. P. Rajasimham from final year CSE. I'm Savita Sri from third year in the field of Computer Science Engineering. I'm the team leader of our project. Let me introduce my team members. Ms. Yuvasri from third year, Ms. Nilamani from third year, and Ms. Valli from third year. Without any further delay, let's get into our project. We named our project as Smart Shopping Cart. Our project is based on IoT. It's a collective network and connected devices technology that facilitate communication between devices and cloud as well as between the devices and themselves. IoT refers to the billions of physical devices around the world that are now connected to the internet as connecting and sharing the data. Goodness to the arrival of superchip computer chips and usability of wireless network, it's possible to turn anything from something small as wheel to big as aeroplane into a part of IoT. The IoT describes the network of physical object things that are embedded with sensors, software, and other technologies for the purpose of connecting and exchanging data without devices and systems over the internet. Connecting upon all these objects and adding sensor them to add the level of digital intelligence and devices that would be otherwise dumb, enabling them to communicate real-time data without involving the human being. The IoT is making the fabric of the world around the more smarter and more responsive emerging of the digital world and physical universe. Ms. Valli, tell the following problem statement.
Problem statement. The problem we are facing in today's shopping malls are
long waiting time for the billing process as the customer has to place all the items at the counter for scanning. This makes the checkout process very slow. An innovative product with societal acceptance is the one that aids the comfort, convenience, and the efficiency is everyday life. Involvement of a lot of labor for scanning and the billing process. Human can make the calculation error during the billing and they can miss an product to calculate. Purchasing and shopping at big malls is becoming daily activity in metro cities. Our idea. Today we build a smart shopping cart with an automatic billing system that not only reduce waiting time but also makes the process very smooth and easy. Main objective of proposed system is to provide a technology-oriented, low-cost, easily scalable and rigid system for assisting shopping in person. Shopping cart software is software that allows customers to select and gather items they want to purchase. You can integrate the software with your current website. On the other hand, an e-commerce platform is a more complex solution that takes care for everything, including online payment processing. RFID-powered electronic shopping cart is built in enhance the overall shopping experience for electronic store consumers. Over to Savita.
Com- Components required. Software components required Python and Arduino IDE as well as the hardware components required ESP8266 Node MCU helps you to prototype or build IoT products. 16 into 2 alphanumeric LCD. It can display the 16 characters per line and these are such two lines. 12C node for 16 into 2 LCD. It's very easy to use display module. 4-pin tactile switch, which is used for mechanical stability. EM18 RFID reader, which is used to read the RFID tags of frequency 125 kHz. Circuit of the diagram. This is RFID. We are taking 3 RFID tags and this is EM18 reader module. It transmits unique ID. 12 into 2 LCD displays the having 32 characters with a tactile switch used on it. All these are get connected into the breadboard.
Algorithm of smart shopping cart. Step 1. Start the system, then swipe the user smart card to initiate shopping. The user information and the available balance are displayed in the LCD display. Then place products in the trolley. Display information on LCD. Update the billing information. Product they are needed can be taken out from the trolley. Then it will subtract the price of product and update detail on LCD. Press the finish button to end shopping. The bill amount will be deduced from the available balance in the smart card. Then display information on LCD. End the process. Flowchart of our project. First start the process, then enter the budget, then product recommendation. RFID reader reads RFID tags. Then product removed from the cart. Option 1, IR remove sensor detects cost from total. Or option 2, IR add sensor at the cost. Then display details are displayed on LCD screen. Then memory write. Total cost are calculated is equal to entered budget. Then buzzers buzz. Cart at billing counter. RF transmitter transmits data from the cart. RF receiver receives data at billing counter PC. Then it will print the bill. Then it is not about developer's idea or product. It is about satisfying needs of customer. It can manage all products that the user decides to buy. Customer can add, remove, and manage their products. List in shopping cart to about their buying experience. Advantage. Smart Smart shopping cart is designed and developed to help customers skip the long queues at cash counter and check out by themselves. This is also most distinct advantage.
It increases per customer transaction and sales revenue. More efficient real-time customer trend analysis that helps with marketing. It could bring benefits to customers, retailers, and retail stores.
Demo of a project. Let's get into the demo video. Grab some products like tea of 50 gram, a soap, a biscuit, and a rice bag of 1 kg. Let's see the total bill displays on the screen, which has the tabular column that contains the item, quality, and cost of the item, and then grand total. A 50 gram of tea, quantity of 1 cost rupees 45. A soap cost as 38. A biscuit cost as 35 rupees. And a rice bag cost is 110. We get a grand total of 228. After getting a bill, we get a thank you message. Thank you message on the LCD screen. Happy shopping. Thank you. Having any queries?
Yeah, excellent project, team creators. Excellent. And hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, when the customers add his requisite products into his cart, then how do you it recognize this, the products are added
While
using
customer is taking the products,
barcode scanner, or manually it will there is some requirement to enter the product name manually?
this is done through barcode, sir.
Okay, very good, very good project, excellent project. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon to all. Welcome to Ideathon 2.0. I am Nishanti from third year in Department of CS, Computer Science. My members is Niveta and my guiding Mrs. Pradeepa, Assistant Professor from Department of Computer Science Engineering. We are presenting about our idea is Smart Garbage Monitoring System under domain of IoT. So before getting into the further slide, let me give some information of IoT. IoT is a domain we are using in a project. We will see some applications are healthcare, industrial automation, smart homes and buildings, automotive and wearable technology. Internet of Things is the extension of internet connectivity into physical devices and everyday objects, which are embedded with sensors, software, network connectivity, and necessary electronics that enables them to collect, exchange data. Making advantages of IoT is nothing but cost reduction, efficiency and productivity, business opportunities, customer experience, mobility, and agility. Our project is about smart garbage monitoring system using IoT. In our problem statement, there are several problems with the current existing system that are being identified. Current garbage collection is efficient, time-based, and required huge amount of human energy. It will create an unhygienic condition for surrounding environment and create bad smell which can lead to the spread some deadly disease. In our idea, one of them main concerns with our environment has been solid waste management, which impacts the health and environment of our society. Here, to make the Internet of Things and IoT-based garbage monitoring, bin level monitoring system. This is our IoT garbage monitoring system, an innovative way that will help to keep the cities clean and healthy. We are using some components. LCD display, lighter in weight with respect to screen size, better under brighter conditions because of anti-glare technology. HC SRO4 ultrasonic sensor. In this project, I will introduce you to the HC SRO4 ultrasonic sensor. It works by sending sound waves from the transmitter, which can bounce off an object and then return to the receiver. ESP8266 Node MCU. Node MCU is an open source IoT platform. ESP8266, which can connect objects, let be data transfer using the Wi-Fi protocol. Push button. A push button, also spelled push button or simply button, is a switch mechanism to control some aspect of a machine or a process. They are used to switch devices on and off. Followed by me, Niveta will continue.
This is flowchart in your project. The waste bin has to be tracked from the overflowing to create a clean city. The bin is tracked by an ultrasonic sensor which ensure the bin level and constant in with the bin depth. The sensor supplies the microcontroller with the data. If, if the dustbin if the dustbin is empty will not consider. Then the garbage level of 0 to 70 percentage indicate graphical view. When the garbage is 70 percentage to 100 percentage fill, the buzzer will on at every 10 percentage. Then the garbage bin 0 collected. Black diagram. When the data in the database is sent to the mobile application, whenever the end to user are over accessing the application. The figure illustrates to the separate ultrasonic sensor are utilized with the two separate unit of the Wi-Fi module of two being needed to be managed. Open Wi-Fi setting in mobile. Select garbage bin device. After connected device without internet, open web page. Enter IP 192.168.4.1. After loading, select Wi-Fi configure. Switch on your router, select your router, enter your Wi-Fi connections, SSID, password. After entered your credential, the ESP8266 connected to the router. Now ESP8266 IP address display in the LCD display. Advantage: the hardware cost involved are very low. Reduce environment pollution and maintain hygienious health condition. Future: the main aim of the project is to reduce human resources and effort along with environment of a smart city. We have often seen garbage every over from dustbin on the streets. Let's see demo video.
Thank you.
I have some questions. Can you show your slide, please? Presentation.
Okay, sir.
And go to the slide of your which components, actually which type of sensors you are using. Okay, display, then ultrasonic sensor, uh, module, push button sensor. Previous slide please. Can you explain why are you using ultrasonic sensor?
Ultrasonic sensor is used to measure
Yes,
the distance
measure the
of the,
distance. Okay,
of
okay,
the
very
garbage.
very good, very good. Next. ASP and push button switch. Okay, next. Okay, fine, fine. Now, mm, uh, why are you using ESP8266?
Wi-Fi module
Only for Wi-Fi module.
because it transfers the message when garbage is filled.
Okay, and your code is written in which language?
Python.
Python. Okay,
Yes.
very good. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
So yeah, team. So I don't have any, actually I don't have any questions. I have some suggestions for your smart garbage system. So garbage system in the sense we have dry waste as well as wet waste, right? So you should concentrate on that. Okay. So in future enhancement, you should try to separate that dry waste and wet waste as well as so that it can be reused. We can reuse it easily. So just a suggestions. So in future enhancement, try to implement that. Okay. All the very best. It was nice project.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon to one and all who are gathered here for the marvelous technical function Ideathon 2.0. We are very happy to present our project, which is traffic signal violation reduction. Before going to start our project, I would like to introduce our team mentor, Dr. M. Jyotish Kumar sir, head of the Department of Computer Science Engineering, and our team trainer is Mr. Tiruvannamalai and myself, Harish from third year Department of Computer Science, and my teammates are Mr. Manigandan, Mr. Manoj Kumar, Mr. Balakuru. Let's begin our presentation. Domain. Artificial intelligence refers to the simulation of human intelligence in machines that are programmed to think like humans and mimic their actions. The terms may be also applied to any machine that exhibit traits associated with the human mind, such as learning and problem solving. Some advantages of AI: reduction in human error. It can perform repetitive jobs easily. It can help to take decisions faster than a human and carry out actions quicker. Problem statement. Reduction in human error can be solved by the AI, but here our problem statement: in urban traffic congestion spreads, there is a pressing need for the control. Two, traffic problems nowadays are increasing because of the growing number of vehicles and the limited resources provided by the current infrastructures. The issue of red light concern, while seemingly inconsequential, actually has a significant impact on the traffic-related accidents, especially in signal, intersection, or lane changes. The most common cause of the urban crashes appears to be drivers running red lights or ignoring other traffic controls, and injuries occur in 39% of all these types of crashes. In 2019, an estimated 143,000 people were injured in red light running crashes. While many drivers obey traffic signal, but there will be a possibility of a violation that exists due to the either driver distraction, aggressive driving behavior, or a deliberate decision to ignore the traffic signal. Our idea.
Traffic violation detection system are effective tools to help traffic administration to monitor the traffic condition. The detection system using computer vision is mainly based on computer vision technologies which are related to image processing, artificial intelligence, and deep learning. It can be helpful to detect the vehicle which are violate the red signal. The traffic video footage will be given as input to the violation detection system that estimate the violation line by use of crosswalk components. If the vehicle crosses the crossroad components during the red signal, then it will be detected. Mainly, the system consists of object detector and object tracker, which work in interacted manner in order to precisely keep position of the existing cars. The video captured from the camera is refused for various other domains and bands. The operation cost is significantly reduced. The output of our project showed accurate result as well as violating vehicles were detected in distinguished precisely. Algorithm. It became essential to gain clean location of the crosswalk components. As the closest counter to the traffic light is located and is taken into the consideration as a thing corresponding to the crosswalk as a whole, the vertical coordinate of the component is used to in the end of draw the horizontal violation line for use within the monitoring logic and violation standard. At every 5 frames, a detection carried out using YOLO V3 pre-trained version on COCO dataset. The tracking of the vehicle is performed at each frame, but each 5 frames a new detection occurs. Then for each detection bounding field is measure of our is completed within the modern day tracking bounding containers. If it violated the red light, its monitoring object is moved to the violating monitoring listening, so it can be visualized in the output video. Violated vehicle will be monitored by two conditions. One is vehicle violated red light, and the another one is tracker is moved to the violated tracking. And
on starting of this project, we need to give an video as input for signal violation detection. Then the system will draw a violation line based on the pedestrian crosswalk. If a vehicle is violated the signal, and it will be detected and incremented by in violation detection counter. And our future enhancement will be described by Manoj Kumar.
Future enhancement of our project. Our future plan is to implement the number plate detection with the OCR support to make the system more robust. And we can implement each alarm system to send fine receipt to violated vehicles to the owner. We can add some other violation detection like overspeed detection, helmet detection, and no parking detection. Advantages of our project. Traffic violation system using computer vision are very efficient tool to reduce traffic violation by tracking and penalizing. The system will detect the violated vehicles automatically and it monitored easily by the traffic police department. Detecting and tracking the vehicle and their activities are done accurately. Let's play the demo video.
First motive of the code is to differentiate the violating region and normal region of the violation. In our code, the pedestrian near to the signal used as the approximate line between them. The image dilation and erosion used to find the location of the signal light and the pedestrian. And the approximate horizontal line will be created, which is considered as the border between violating and regular region. Coding process. In the development, we use the Python language and PyCharm development environment. We have used YOLO V3 and OpenCV libraries. After executing the code process, the violating detected output video will be saved in the output folder. Let's see some of our output videos. When the signal is red and the vehicle crosses the pedestrian crosswalk, then it will be detected as violating vehicles, and the violation counter will be increased as per the count of detected vehicles.
Thank you.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Your project is very well defined and well executed. Good
Yes, sir.
presentation.
Thank
Very
you,
good
sir.
presentation.
Sir.
Now, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Actually, you have done a very good job, but in case of implementation, you have to go to traffic police, and you have in case of demo, in case of actually real demo. Okay.
Yes, sir.
If
We have to
you
go
build
for
in
traffic
your
police station.
laboratory using normal car toy, and then using CV zone, it will be okay. But in case of real implementation, you have to need some legal permissions, right?
Yes, sir. That will be needed, sir.
So in this regard, what do you think? How do you go for this?
Sir, we can explain our project to the traffic police department. If they liked our project, the actually violation detection will be detected accurately without human requirement, and we hope
And
that the department.
how do you claim that your project is actually your project will work tens to 100% with tens to 100% accuracy, or accuracy level?
Sir, accuracy will be 80 plus, sir.
80%.
Yes, sir. 80 plus,
Have
sir.
have you measured?
Sir?
How many trials you have measured?
So we have used a COCO dataset for this training this model,
Okay.
and we had used a YOLO V3 algorithm for the object and vehicle detection and tracking method.
And you just get conclusion that it will provide more than 80% precision.
Yes, sir. That will be accuracy of our project vehicle detection, sir.
Okay, okay. Do you know about another type of vehicle detection projects or works in the market?
In this project, we have detected a red signal violation only, sir. But in our future enhancement, we have some idea about to encounter the speed violation and overspeed
Very good.
violation, parking
Very good.
violation, and some other
Very,
helmet detection.
very good. Very good. Very good project. Carry on.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Harish.
Hi, sir.
So my question is, so whether your project is whether the car is cross the line or not, it will violate the rules or not, right? So
Yes, sir.
if some cars cross the line, so how did you find the car? Is there any number plate tracking like that in your project? So
Yes,
if some, okay, yeah.
so in our project, we need to analyze the violation line, and then we need to detect the vehicle whether it crosses the violation line or not. For the violation line estimation in the traffic road, we actually know that pedestrian crosswalk in some roads. We need to convert the pedestrian crosswalk into some components. By using these components, we need to come to some final decision whether the vehicle is crossing the crosswalk or not, sir.
Yes, okay. So once the vehicle crossed that line, so did you develop any algorithm for that to find the vehicle, whether which vehicle is crossing, or we can trace the vehicle, anything like that?
Yes, sir. For that vehicle detection, we had used YOLO V3 algorithm, sir.
Okay.
That will be used for the vehicle detection and object tracking.
Okay, so because in metro cities nowadays they implement the system what you are using. So once we cross the line after the red signal, the alarm will beep in the highways, in the roads, something like that. So in future enhancement, you try to find or track the vehicle which is violate the rules, and try to get the plate number. I mean that vehicle number. So it will be useful for the police department to track the vehicle and put it fine on them, something like that, or try to capture the image of the vehicle, which will display using that image we can get the number from that. So try to do that in future. Okay, it will be
Yes,
more
sir.
effective. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
That also one of our future enhancement of our project, sir. Thank you, sir.
good. Super.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Divesh. How are you?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. I'm fine. How are you, sir?
Yeah, fine. So, welcome for the program, and let introduce Mr. Divesh, who is our great alumni of our college, and one of technical support for the Department of Police in Tiruvannamalai district. Uh, can you share your information related to the experience what you gained in the last decade once you joined over in the Cognizant? You have any experience?
Yes, sir. So before that, actually me and Jyotis are working in many projects related to government. We done many projects like online corporate organization system and childcare system. So during lockdown also we did many projects to the police department. And in recent times I joined in Cognizant and I'm in quality engineering and assurance domain. So that one experience I personally found is while presenting I before that I didn't have any presentation skills or nothing like that. So I gained the presentation skills only because of we working lots of presentations done and presenting before in college, no? I was like you students how you face to speak in front of others, same feel I have. So I don't have that much guts to speak in front of others. So but Jyotish sir is my mentor during when I was in college. So he just gave me the guidance, and he just told he just support me, and he made me to how to present the presentations or how to speak in front of others. He just give the tips and something like that. So recently I made a presentations in front of my higher authorities in CTS, so they appreciated me a lot. So yeah, you did well, like that. They appreciated me. At the time I was thinking, okay, what we did in college, now it is useful for me in working area. So that experience was really nice. And also other than that, out of CTS, we done many projects and we working together, still we working together. We I just want students to come up with lots of ideas and want to implement that ideas to the real time. So don't think what others think. Simply, if you have any idea, you just discuss with your mentors, and the mentors will guide you. Okay, that's the tips. That the advice I want to give to students, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Divesh. Professor Bhaskar Chakraborty, sir, can you able to kindly give your input related to the today program?
Today's program actually, this is very encouraging, and the students have done outstanding jobs. Outstanding after a pandemic, after 2 years of a pandemic, they returned to the college and delivered this kind of presentation in very short time. This is really amazing, and best wishes for them. And it is possible for your guidance, your departmental guidance. It is excellent.
Thank you, Professor. Professor Atanu Roy Chowdhury, sir, is able to join now, sir? Is possible?
He is in another meeting.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
just give me a few seconds. I just I'm checking. Okay.
Yeah, yes, sir,
Please.
fine.
Sir, in the meanwhile, I like to share some tips to the students. Shall I, sir?
Yes, yes, you can. You go through.
Yeah. So students, actually, when I was in college, I just follow some things. So I like to share with you so that you can follow that things. Okay. So now you are all in third year, right? So first of all, you just you should find the professional people in that, and you should take them as a mentor. So you should take guidance from them, and based upon that, you just go in a right path. Okay. So second one is just manage people. You try to develop your skills in managing the peoples of people, in the sense you should develop yourselves because in future you can meet different kinds of people, so you should able to manage every peoples. Okay. So that's what I like to share. And third one is never stop asking questions. Okay. So try to ask more questions. So if you ask more questions, then only you can able to clear more doubts. So never stop asking questions, try to ask more questions. Never bother about others. Just if you have any doubts, if you have any questions, try to ask more questions. Okay. Then next one is continue to learn. So you should learn continuously. So it is a small one, it is a 2 days program, it is a 1 day program, it is a small thing. At least try to learn new things in a day. Okay, so that one you should follow every day. It will helpful in sometimes. Okay, so if you learn today one new thing and you thought it may be not used, but in sometimes some ways it will be useful for you. Okay, so next one is network. So network in the sense you should create a people network. Okay, like for example, if you take LinkedIn profile, you just connect with many recruiters are there, so you just connect to try to connect, give a connection to them, and you can speak with them and you can showcase your skills to them. So whenever for example, if you're speaking with some recruiter and there is some need for the recruiter and that need is matched with your skills, then they will call you for the job. Okay, so try to make a network, people network. That is one main thing. And another one is you should, everyone should create a professional LinkedIn profile. Okay, so that's the main thing. Create today, if you don't have any LinkedIn profile, go today and just create one professional LinkedIn profile. In the LinkedIn profile you just upload whatever you done so far. Okay, keep it in mind and create a portfolio in the sense it's something like resume. So update your resume, whatever you done and everything, whatever any small projects or big projects or any internships or any something webinars or a paper presentation, anything, just you create a portfolio. Okay, that's the main thing. Then develop leadership skills in the sense you should develop the uh, that leadership skills. How can you develop in the sense, if you take this Ideathon, so you just volunteer in like Ideathon or any other webinars, or just go as a team, and you should lead your team and you should develop your leadership skills from that. Okay, so try to develop that. It is most important in corporate world. Okay, so next one is teamwork in the sense if you are in team, then teamwork is most important than the individual work. Okay, so it's your success is not is a team success. The team success is your success. Okay, keep it in mind. For example, if you take a cricket, so only one player is good and remaining 10 players is not good, then it's not good. Okay, so you should be have a good teamwork, and you should try to develop your communication skills. It's more important though, so you should try to develop your communication skills. Okay, and last tips I like to give is try to change your free time into productivity. So if you have free times, don't spend it in anything like entertainment. Instead of that, try to do some internships or try to do some complete courses. So this is a competitive world, guys. You should develop your skills. Okay, so I like to share these tips for my juniors. That's it. Okay, keep it in mind, and all the very best for your future. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Divesh, for your valuable inputs. That's what the experience that you gain in the college as well as in the corporate that you given to your juniors. Let it make it to be the positive aspects. Now I welcome Professor Atanu Roy Chowdhury, who is a founder of Capsule Lab, has been joined in the morning session, and Sir has been have some busy schedule, so they have been joining now. So, as per the schedule of Ideathon, we started in 28th, and today we are running on 4th. So totally there are 26 teams have been identified, and on the day of 28th of April, 10 teams has been done their pitching events, and today there are totally 16 teams have been identified with the various domains like IoT, artificial intelligence, and cloud computing. And today they have been effectively started with some basic knowledge. So on the from morning session, Professor Bhaskar sir, Bhaskar Chakraborty sir has given a valuable input to the students and make the queries in what way the next level of the prototype models or the next level of an idea pitching can able to take in. So I just make on behalf of Department of Computer Science and thanks to Professor Bhaskar Chakraborty sir to be on the line and make the students to be fine tuned it. Now, I just make our Professor Atanu Roy Chowdhury sir, who is a founder of Capsule Lab, to make the valuable inputs. Please, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Jyotish. And I really thank everybody who's present for their patience and the perseverance in going through this whole thing. It's really a lot of work, right? Today morning, I was hearing Professor Utpal Chakraborty talk about AI and its relevance. And incidentally, I came across a recent article which talked about what if your next interview is by an AI, right? What if your next interviewer is AI, right? It may seem strange, but I don't think it is unforeseen. Right. Today, if you look at, today, if you look at somebody who's driving an Uber, right? Where do they get their instructions from? Where do they get to know where the next pickup is going to be? It's a software program, right? So if work can be scheduled by a computer software, then I don't see why recruitment down the line will not be by AI, right? What does it really mean to be interviewed by AI, right? What can it do that what would such an interview feel like, right? No, with the AI interviewer, there's going to be quite a few interesting changes. First of all, it's going to keep a lookout for how you are communicating, right? What kind of words you are using. Are you using positive sounding words, or are you sounding negative? You sounding words, right? Are you using a lot of no's in your communication, or are you a generally positive person who's using a lot of yes words, a lot of positive reaffirmations, right? So that is one thing. There are already a lot of projects that are going on with sentiment analysis on Twitter feeds, right? Just imagine that going up to one more extent, and you'll see how an AI-based tool can understand, a person's what a person is trying to say. The second part that it looks at is the response time for an answer, right? Now, when you are going out to give your interviews, or even when you have your practical exams, right? It's not important to start an answer as soon as you hear the question, right? That is usually, we think that the person who answered the first, the person who answered the quickest or the loudest is the right answer. But no, that is not the case. Interviewers will very much appreciate if you take a moment to hear the question, to prepare an answer, right? To think about what are the 2 or 3 things you are going to talk about in the response, and then give a clear answer, right? That is way more important. That is more valuable to the interviewer, because they know that you have a thought process, right? You are not gurgling out an answer that you have learned by heart, right? So it's important to show to the interviewer that you are human, right? The third thing that happens is when we speak with people, we give out a lot of emotional, what we call is emotional leakage, right? When we talk to people, right now I am talking in front of a computer, and the way I will behave, right? My eyes are focused near the microphone, near where I know the camera is, right? But in a interview, when you are meeting people, you are meeting them in person, right? So your body language talks a lot about you, right? So in general, if somebody were to interview you, they would want to hire somebody, they would want to hire an employee who is generally jovial, right? Who's generally happy. And that should show on your face, right? So if you were to interview with an AI, the AI would be most likely trained to look at your to do sentiment analysis, right? To create word clouds. What are the main technologies, or what are the key passionate areas that are coming out in your conversation with the during the interview, right? How much are you pausing for an answer, right? How much are you thinking about the answer that you are about to give? Is it a deliberated answer, or is it something that is coming off the top of your mind, right? And fourthly is your how you're carrying yourself, and your general skilled with it. It kind of becomes a hobby, right? if you are skilled at something and that is in demand, right? So for example, you are skilled in HTML development, right? And that is there is market demand for that particular role, so you go and get yourself a job as a web developer, right? But you are really not passionate about it, right? It doesn't really keep you up at night, right? You're not thinking about how do I build the next version of the web, right? In that case, what happens is it becomes a job. And the moment it is a job, it will cause emotional stress, right? Because you're not enjoying doing what you are going out and doing on a day in, day out basis, right? So be careful of this trap, if you will, right? And the third thing is, if you are passionate about something, right, and it is something that is in demand, but you do not have the skills for it, right, then it becomes a dream, right? I want to play cricket, and I know that IPL cricketers are in demand, but I cannot bat, right? In that case, what will happen is, even if I were to get that opportunity, I will not be able to develop those skills, right? So it causes recurring failure. So only when all of these three attributes, the passion, the skill, and the demand, kind of align, right? What will happen is, because you are passionate, you will stay up at night and pick up those skills, right? Because you are picking up those skills, you are starting to address demand, right? Which is why only when these three, the passion, skill, and demand trinity kind of meets, right, you have that performance overdrive. You will go do much, much better in that area than anybody else, than your peers, right? You will find those growth opportunities, and because you are creating those insights, you're developing those insights, it will lead to a development of not only your intelligence quotient, but it will lead to a development of your emotional quotient, of your social quotient, right? So this is my parting message to all of you for today, is that identify, go think about where your passions lie, what is it that you would want to do, and then start building up those skills, right? Make yourself really good at that one thing that you do, because then when you go into the market, you can go and say, I am a web developer, I am a social marketer, I am a client servicing representative, right? Whatever that area where you feel you can excel, pursue that to the best of your abilities, and there is no stopping any of you, right? I strongly believe that, right? Over to you, Jyotish sir.
So I thanks to all the students as well as today's guest, and I make my personal thanks to Professor Atanu Roy Chowdhury sir, who has been taken more initiative on pitch deck preparation, and what we get a good input from the student side, and what we expected, that in what way the presentation should be identified. Other than the presentation, the most important aspects, like what kind of a designation that the students can able to avail, like a CTO, CPO. So that one thing that the students able to identify, very great to know about the expansion of each and every aspects. And other than aspects, how the commercial products to be identified, and when you are taking to the commercial products, in what way that products will need and advertisements. So all these kind of aspects that you have been identified through the pitch deck preparation, that what we done it on April 25th, sir. I think that program is one of the loophole. That program is one of the iconic for this particular ideathon, and make very professional actually, which make our students as well as the team work. The teamworks will ever make to the slogan, what we make it like, together we can, or the success to be taken together in a teamwork. So I think this ideathon is being started with the pitch deck preparation for your valuable guidance, and makes to be in the success manner. So on behalf of Department of Computer Science Engineering, in association with Institution Innovation Council of IIC of Arunai, and as well as in Computer Society of India Mumbai Chapter, I just make my thanks and make my professional attitude, that what you showed on our students of professional students. So that makes to be one aspect, that whatever we will make it to the students, that you want to be a professional student. I think this program will definitely fine tune to be that particular word, that definitely students will be a professional student and make their progressive work with the name of an idea pitching with different terms. And with your suggestions and whatever we discussion, we can go for the next level, like hackathon. And that we are expecting your support as well as the guidance, that definitely we can go for the next version of an information, the next level of the professional, the next level of the the aspects of schemes with the name of an Arunai Hackathon, and still we have been working on that. And definitely, I will show that we will come on the projection with an hackathon with your guidance and with the professor Dr. Suresh, who is a chairman of a CSI, and we have some of more good peoples to be accommodated on this particular platform who are ever supporting the professional students and young minds of our institution as well as the engineering aspects. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, students, for your wonderful presence and make the patience to be available on this particular Ideathon. And this Ideathon is really giving a more number of lessons when compared to the Ideathon 1.0. Because when we started the Ideathon 1.0, we don't have much experience, but we done some kind of aspects with some kind of good aspects that we done it. But this time, the pitch deck preparation that what initially we done it at that exercise, that really make the students as well as the team of students know about their strength and know about what is their individual responsibility. So that is the one additional point I want added over here, that a student can able to know what is his positive and what we call as and what its merits, and where the students or where the particular student is being in positive aspects. I think the pitch deck preparation as well as this Ideathon is given that opportunity, and not only for that, even for the Department of Computer Science, it's also giving an opportunity to identify the students, those who are all the students, where the next level of students, those who are available in third year and final year, we can able to identify that set of peoples which help to make it to the further go for any kind of a successive programs or successive implementation for any projects with maybe social, or it may be related to an IoT, or it may be related to innovations. I think this team will definitely make it to be brighten and make step forward with some professional knowledge. That's what I suggested, and that's what I requested students to go for learning. And what I can learn from Professor Atanu Roy Chowdhury is he has been one of a good philosopher and as well as a well-wisher for the college as well as for the department. And what I learned from you, sir, the learning is ever will not stop. Like what we called as an innovation never ends. So that's what I can learn from you, sir, that what the learning you done it, the first level of impression, that is the best impression, that you make it through that the street light monitoring system that ever available in our mind. That I think not only to my mind, actually, those who are available on the particular presentation, that particular presentation really make my admiration, like how the presentation should be made. That is really very good, actually. That makes an impressive presentation. Not only the impressive presentation, it is also an informative presentation. I think really that give the good input and we identify the right guidance from you, sir.
The audience. The audience is the magic ingredient in every presentation. This is not my talk, it's yours. Every presentation should be made to measure for a specific audience in a specific context. So why should you care about the magic ingredients of great presentations? Well, it's very important, right? It's really important to understand that we all have to listen to presentations. Wouldn't it be great if they weren't all so boring? But we don't just listen to presentations, we also have to give presentations, right? How many of you ever have to give presentations? I think if we're honest, we all do. Sooner or later, at school, at work, and also in interviews, we all have to present with or without slides. And it's how well we present that will make a huge difference to how well we succeed. That's why you should care. So that's the first magic ingredient, the audience. Always make it special for them. The second magic ingredient is the speaker. Now, okay, you're probably looking at me and thinking, well, Phil, not very magical. Thanks, by the way. But it's really important that you put something of yourself in there, something only you can say. This doesn't mean you tell them what you had for breakfast, but it does mean that if someone else could give the exact same presentation in your place, then you didn't put anything personal into it. And that matters because when you share, we care. So show why you care. Show why it's important to you. Tell us examples and stories from your experience. And that will make it more personal and more memorable. So those are the first two magic ingredients, the audience and the speaker. I know it doesn't sound very magical, but you'd be amazed how many presentations have neither of them. So the third magic ingredient is transformation. Now, most presentations aim only to inform their audience, and it doesn't work very well. Let me take out my magic wand here, because I'm going to do a disappearing trick. Because, like this guy, we forget most of what we hear very quickly indeed. But good presentations are not about information. They are about transformation. They are about changing something in what your audience believes, in what they feel, in what they do. Imagine you are making a pitch to raise funds for a project or a startup. After your pitch, the audience knows everything they need to know, but they don't fund you. Did you succeed? No. Now imagine that after your pitch, your audience does give you the funds because they feel confident and trusting, and they believe that your project will be successful and it's a good investment. All of that is not information, it's transformation. So it's easy for me to say, don't inform, transform, but how? Well, every magician needs a magic wand, and here is yours. It's called the Audience Transformation Roadmap. This is a really simple but amazingly powerful technique to understand what your transformational objectives are, and then to brainstorm what you can say, show, and do to transform your audience. So here's how it works. To understand how to take your audience on a transformational journey, you first need to work out where they are starting from. So we ask ourselves 4 simple questions. What does my audience know before my presentation? What do they know about the subject? What do they believe? What do they feel? Now, the difference between believing and feeling is believing is something that you think, feeling is an emotion. So, for example, I believe it's time for dinner. I feel hungry. See the difference? Right. So what do they know? What do they believe? What do they feel? And lastly, what do they do? Now, this could be nothing. Maybe they do nothing relevant, or maybe they do something that you need to change. So once you've worked out where they are before, you can then take them to where you want them to go afterwards. And we ask the same 4 questions, but in the reverse order. So now we know what they do before. What do we want them to do after the presentation? What do they need to feel? What should they believe differently to feel and do those things? And lastly, what do they need to know? And when you follow this process, you realize very quickly that the real transformations are not in what they know, it's in what they believe and feel and do. That's what makes the difference. Once we've understood where they are and where we need to take them, then we can fill in the transformation column with all of the ideas on what we can say in our presentation to make those transformations in our audience. And that gives us the content of the presentation. Clear so far? Maybe we should take an example. So let's take an example. Let's assume that I am going to make a presentation and I would like to explain the 3 magic ingredients of a great presentation. And I'd like to make my audience want to use the Audience Transformation Roadmap. So what does my audience know before the presentation? Well, they know that most presentations aren't exactly successful, and they know TED is the exception that proves that rule. What do they believe? Probably like most people, they believe that presentations are for sharing information. It might be wrong, but that doesn't stop them believing it. What do they feel about presentations? Probably bored, but also resigned to a really ineffective way of presenting because that's just what everyone does. And lastly, what do they do? Well, when it's their turn to present, they generally will pack things full of information and they won't personalize it to their audiences. So what do I want them to do after my presentation? Well, afterwards, I'm going to want them to aim to transform their audience every time they present, to change something in their audience. I'm going to need them to personalize their presentation every time, And also, I'd like them to use the audience transformation roadmap because I know it will help them to succeed. What do they need to feel to do those things? Well, if they still feel bored or resigned, they're not going to do very much. So they need to feel curious about this new technique. They need to feel motivated to try it and optimistic that it can work for them. What do they need to believe to feel those things? Well, they'll need to believe that the roadmap can actually help them to succeed in their presentations. And then lastly, well, what do they need to know to believe, feel, and do those things? Well, they'll need to know the 3 magic ingredients. That's pretty basic. They'll need to know presentations are bad at information, but great at transformation. And they'll need to know how to use the audience transformation roadmap. Okay, now we've worked out where they were and where I'm going to want to take them. What can I do now? I fill in the transformation column. So what can I say or show or do to make those transformations? Now, usually I'm using a flip chart and I'm using some sticky notes here. So I'm going to use virtual sticky notes. Let's start at the top. We're going to need to make sure they know the 3 magic ingredients. So I'm going to need to talk at some point about the audience, about the speaker, and the transformation. They need to know that presentations are bad at information. So maybe I should tell them that we forget most of what we hear very quickly. Perhaps I could find a visual way to show that as well. What next? They need to know how to use the roadmap, so I better show it to them. And I guess I could make it even clearer by going through an example. They need to believe that the roadmap can help them to succeed in their presentations. So I'll need to show how easy it is to take all of these sticky notes off of the transformation column and arrange them in a suitable order to create the storyline for their presentation. It really is a shortcut. Okay, now I need to make them curious. Now, to make them curious, I'm going to need to make them care. And to make them care, I need to show that I care. So I probably need to explain that most presentations really don't succeed and that I care about fixing that. And then to make them care, well, I'm going to need to maybe find out how relevant it is to them. Perhaps I could ask them how many of them actually need to present. And of course, I know the answer is pretty much everybody. I need to make them motivated and optimistic. Well, I can make them optimistic by explaining how easy this is to use, but also how powerful it is. And to motivate them to try it, well, I'm going to need to explain that presentations, that successful presentations, can really make a difference to how well they succeed in life. And lastly, well, to make them do these things, I'll need a call to action, which focuses on what I want them to do afterwards. So there we have it. That's a very accelerated version of the brainstorming, but it doesn't need to take long. What we have now is just enough relevant ideas on how we can transform our audience. So what happens next? Well, this is where I'm going to take my magic wand out again, because this is where the presentation magic happens. Because this is where you can take all of these sticky notes off of the transformation column, prepare a suitably magical storyline, and then arrange all of these ideas back into that storyline. And hey presto, there's my presentation. Now you might recognize this one because this is the presentation that you have been watching for the last 10 minutes. And this is where we are now. Isn't that magic? So now you know what happens next. Next, I need to explain how simple this can be and how powerful. And it's so simple, it doesn't take an expert. Thousands of people have already used this technique to prepare and deliver fantastic presentations of all kinds, from TED Talks to the boardroom. But more than presentations, they've used it also for emails, for proposals, for preparing interviews, for preparing conferences. Basically, it works in any situation where you need to change what people believe, feel, and do. You really don't need a magic wand. This is all the magic you need.
I hope that was useful. because I use this technique a lot, and what you saw in the previous presentation with the street light was essentially a transformation roadmap, was a transformation presentation in order to get you curious about the depths of AI. It's something that can be used in a very, very simple form in all your discussions, right?
Thank you, Professor.
Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful presence and make your valuable guidance to this program. And we express your guidance and as well as the support in future to make our projection of the next target level, that what we discuss about Arunai Hackathon. That will really, we will work it out with the basement level. And let me discuss about in 1 or 2 days in what way we can able to start up. That we will project on the forthcoming hot semester. That will be right, I think so. But we can work for the basement from today. Okay, so I will discuss you, sir, when you are free, actually. Thank you, Professor.
Absolutely. Have a good evening, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all for your wonderful presence and make the program to be successful with the name of an Institution Innovation Council of Arunai and CSA Mumbai Chapter, and also the IGRO Association of Computer Society of Engineering, and make this program to be wonderful and make different platforms to be identified, and we will step forward to more progressively in next events. Thank you, Professor. Thank you all.